Hello students, this is your English lesson. In this lesson, we'll read unit number 11, Snakes on the Loose from Oxford Modern English 6. First of all, words to know. Abandoned, some place or thing which has stopped being used. Abate, to reduce in amount or degree, lessen. Allay, to relieve, calm or pacify. Breeding, the process of reproduction. Decimated, killed or destroyed to a large extent. Feat, a notable act or breed, an act of skill. Havoc, widespread destruction. Illicit, unlawful, illegal. Irony, lack of agreement between what might be expected and what actually occurs. Lashes, strikes with force. Lucrative, producing a profit. Rapper, one who performs rap, a form of music with spoken rhymes. Stunt, a feat involving skill and daring. Tourniquet, a tight bandage to temporarily stop the flow of blood. Tragedy, an event resulting in great loss or misfortune. Wall Street, a street in New York where the stock exchange and major banks are located. Now come to the reading. Have you ever wondered whether an important world event took place on the very day you were born? You may find that on your birthday, another famous person was born, not in the same year, but on the same date, in the same month. You may find that it was the first time somebody performed some spectacular feat, a new invention or discovery was made, or perhaps a tragedy such as an accident occurred which killed many people. If we take any date at random, we can look back through old newspapers or make a search on the internet and find that many notable events took place on that particular day. Let us take a date 16 September for example and find out what happened around the world on that day in history. Here are some events that have taken place on 16 September. 1810, the Mexican War of Independence begins. 1916, M.S. Sobalakshmi, the great Indian singer, is born. 1920, a bomb on Wall Street kills 38 people. 1938, Mahatma Gandhi begins a hunger strike. 1948, Saturn's moon, Hyperion, is discovered. 1951, a stunt plane crashes in the USA, killing 19 people. 1963, the Beatles song She Loves You is released in the USA. 1964, the James Bond film Goldfinger is released. 1975, Papua New Guinea gains its independence from Australia. 1977, opera singer Maria Callas dies aged 53. 1978, Leon Spinks loses the WBA heavyweight title to Muhammad Ali, world champion, for the third time. 1978, an earthquake kills 26,000 people in Iran. 1986, a major fire in a gold mine in South Africa kills 175 miners. 2004, after causing havoc in Jamaica, Grenada and Cuba, Hurricane Ivan lashes the Gulf Coast of the USA, killing 45. 2007, Plane crash in Thailand causes 90 deaths. 2009 US rapper Jay-Z becomes the solo artist with the most number one records, overtaking Elvis Presley. So what happened on 16 September 2010? Nothing much. But then a story started appearing on the internet news sites, and it was about snakes. Not just any snakes, but cobras, the deadliest of them all. It could be that the actual event occurred a day or so before the 16th, but the press all over the world became interested, and after the first report appeared, other sites picked up the story. This is how some internet news sites reported what happened. Report 1: 160 deadly cobras escape in China. In southwestern China, more than 160 deadly cobras escaped from an illegal breeding laboratory in early September. Government officials said no one has been injured, and the breeder and a team of snake professionals have since rounded up all but 5 or 6 of the snakes in the village of Sheja, said a country official identified only as Mr. Yan. Report 2: 160 cobras escaped from an illegal lab in China. Escaped cobras from an illegal breeding laboratory have been terrorizing residents of a southwestern Chinese town. Around 160 of the highly venomous snakes have been accidentally released in Sheja Township in the Chongqing municipality, according to AFP. The other day, Yang Erfan had just gone into the toilet when we heard a loud scream, and she came running out after seeing a cobra inside. AFP reported, quoting Information Times, a Chinese newspaper. The cobras have been found in outdoor toilets, in people's kitchens, and on the streets. A man named Kayong admitted to regime officials that he had been breeding around 1,900 cobras in an abandoned schoolhouse. Most of the 160 cobras have been killed or captured, but 5 or 6 are still on the loose. CNN reports that no one was injured in the scare, and the breeder will not be arrested, penalized, or fined for the mishap. Report 3: 160 deadly cobras escaped in China. More than 160 cobras escaped from an illegal breeding laboratory in early September, government officials said. Some of the deadly cobras ended up in people's toilets, kitchens, and roads in southwestern China. According to a country official named Mr. Yan, no one had been injured, and the breeder and a team of snake professionals have since rounded up all but 5 or 6 of the snakes in the village of Sheja. Since the snakes didn't do much harm or cost the government much money, and they cost a lot to raise, the government has decided to give the breeders a break. They have no fine and will not be arrested. They were just ordered to transfer them to a legal breeding laboratory in Guangzhou, in southern China. However, frightened villagers might not be as forgiving as the government. Some of them suggest that government officials had to convene them in order to teach them how to avoid being bitten and how to treat a wound if bitten. Stay calm because boosting your heart rate will spread the venom more rapidly. Apply a tourniquet. Get a shot of antivenom as soon as possible. Report 4 160 escaped cobras inside terror in China. Like something out of a bad horror movie, some 160 cobras have escaped from an illegal breeding factory in Shizhou Township in the municipality of Chongqing in southwest China, terrorizing residents who have spotted them in outdoor toilets, on the streets, and in kitchens. Since they escaped earlier this month, most of them have either been caught or killed, but there remain about a half dozen snakes that are unaccounted for. Another village, Koyong, admitted to the illegal breeding of some 1,900 cobras in an abandoned schoolhouse, but no charges were filed against him. While the rising demand for cobra meat and traditional medicines made from the venom has decimated the snake population. In China, illegal breeding of these deadly serpents is a lucrative source of income, tempting many to carry on illicit operations. Large doses of antivenom have been sent to the township, but that does little to allay the fear of the villagers, which is not likely to abate until the very last cobra is either captured or killed. And here's a lovely thought: what if some of these snakes had babies? Sleep well, dear reader. What do you think about this? So now you have read a few accounts of the same story, but are they different in some ways? You will be able to compare the reports when you tackle the questions later on. On some days, nothing much happens, but news agencies will still try to make a story out of a minor incident. Very recently, a Cambridge scientist programmed a computer with 300 million facts about people, places, businesses, and events to try and discover which day since 1900 was the most boring. In other words, the computer would find out on which day in history nothing of significance took place. It came up with the answer: 12 April 1954. No notable people were born on that day. No major catastrophes occurred. No dignitaries died. The irony is this: since nothing happened on that day, has it become significant as a result? Now come to the exercises. A. Comprehension. Answer the following questions. A. How can you find out what happened on the day you were born? Answer. We can find out about what happened on the day we were born by looking back through old newspapers or searching on the internet. B. Which singer was born and which singer died on 16 September? Answer. On 16 September 1977, opera singer Maria Callas died, aged 53. C. What is Wall Street and what happened there in 1920? Answer. Wall Street is a street in New York where the stock exchange and major banks are located. On 16 September 1920, a bomb exploded there, killing 38 people. D. Which tragic events occurred on 16 September during the years listed? Answer. The following tragic events occurred on 16 September in the years listed. 1920, a bomb on Wall Street kills 38 people. 1951, a stunt plane crashes in the USA, killing 19 people. 1978, an earthquake kills 26,000 people in Iran. 1986, a major fire in a gold mine in South Africa kills 175 miners. 2004, after causing havoc in Jamaica, Grenada, and Cuba, Hurricane Ivan lashes the Gulf Coast of the USA, killing 45. 2007, a plane crash in Thailand causes 90 deaths. E. Where precisely is the village of Shizhou? Answer. Shizhou Township is in the Chongqing municipality in southwestern China. F. Were the snakes captured or killed? Answer. Most of the snakes were captured or killed. Some are unaccounted for. G. Where were the snakes being kept? Why and by whom? Answer. The snakes were being kept in an abandoned schoolhouse. They were being kept there in order to breed them so that they could be sold. A man named Koyon admitted to running the illegal breeding factory. H. What is a truncated? How might it prove to be helpful in the case of a snake bite? Answer. A truncate is a tight bandage to temporarily stop the flow of blood. It might prove useful in the case of a snake bite because it stops the venom spreading until antivenom can be administered. I. Who is Mr. Yan and how does he come into the report? Answer. Mr. Yan is a country official who gave a statement to say that no one had been injured and the majority of the snakes had been rounded up. These questions are more difficult. Discuss them first. J. Which report, in your view, is the best? Say why. Answer. Report 4 ends in the way it does to create suspense, to make the article memorable, and to create a talking point for readers. K. Why do you think the breeder was given a break? What does this mean? Answer. Given a break means given accommodating treatment. The breeder was given a break because the snakes didn't do much harm or cost the government much money, and they cost a lot to raise, so the government did not punish him. 2. Read the 4 news reports again, then answer the following. A. Where were the snakes found? Answer. The cobras were found in outdoor toilets, in people's kitchens, and on the street. B. Which report gives us some information about what to do if bitten by a snake? Answer. Report 3. C. What do you think is meant by however frightened villagers might not be as forgiving as the government? Report 3. Answer. The breeder escaped punishment because no one was harmed and the incident did not cost the government much money. But because the villagers were frightened, they might have felt that the breeder deserved some punishment. D. In what ways are the headings of the 4 reports different? What are the breedings trying to tell the reader? Answer. Report 4 is the most sensational. It uses the word terror. which exaggerates the events. Report 1 and 2 are similar. They both use the word deadly to describe the cobras. All the headlines report the escape and potential danger in order to grab our attention, even though the incident was resolved quickly. Report 3 includes the words illegal lab, which provides more information, sensational, exaggerated information. E. Which report gives us a good idea about why Koyong decided to breed cobras? What reasons can you give? Answer. Report 4 gives us a good idea about why Koyong decided to breed cobras. There is a rising demand for cobra meat and traditional medicines made from the venom, so breeding cobras is tempting because the breeder can make lots of money. 3. Answer the following questions with reference to context. A. It came up with the answer 12 April 1954. 1. What came up with the answer and where? Answer. A computer programmed by a scientist in Cambridge came up with it. 2. What was the question it was trying to answer? Answer. The question it was trying to answer was which day since 1900 was the most boring day? 3. In what way was the answer ironic? Answer. The answer was ironic because now that day has become significant as a result of people knowing that nothing happened on that day. B. Some of them suggest that government officials had to convince them. 1. Who made the suggestion? The villager. 2. Why was the suggestion made? They were not as forgiving as the government had been towards the illegal breeder. 3. What might they have been told at the meeting? They were told how to avoid being bitten and how to treat a wound if bitten. B. Working with words. Use the following in sentences of your own. Tragedy. It was a great tragedy. Allay the fear. The police tried to allay her fear but failed. Terrorizing. The motorcyclists are terrorizing the citizens with their dreadful looks. Significance. What is the significance of this speech on the audience? Lucrative source. She advised her friend to go abroad for more lucrative business venture. Abandoned. He led a reckless and abandoned life and died young. Rounded up. You'd better round up your classmates. Identified. At last the ship was identified and its name and position was reported to the captain. Convene. We convened at the hotel for seminar. Illicit operations. John had no illicit operation there at all, and he used the country as a safe haven. 2. Fill in the blanks with appropriate words from the list below. A. Vitamins and other nourishing foods help in boosting the body's defense system. B. A tourniquet is useful to stop the flow of blood inside a limb. C. The accident that occurred was a catastrophe because the population of the village was decimated. D. The floods caused great havoc with the electric supply to the town. E. All the illicit manufacturing units in the village were closed down and the owners penalized. F. The best animals are used for the purposes of breeding to ensure that future generations are hardy. 3. What do the following abbreviations stand for? PM, Post Meridium. PO, Post Office. Press, President. WBA, World Boxing Association. Reverend. AFP, Agents France Presse. SCI, Science. SE, South East. SEPT, September. SQ, Square. PG, Parental Guidance. SW, Southwest. CNN, Cable News Network. Tuesday. TV, Television. VIP, Very Important Person. Pick out the prepositions in the following sentences and say what nouns or pronouns they connect. A. The dog chased the cat up a tree. Up connects cat and tree. B. We drove the bus into the garage. Into connects bus and garage. C. Ali went with Faiz to the cinema. 2. Connects Ali and Faiz. D. The doctor put the thermometer under the patient's tongue. Under connects thermometer and patient's tongue. E. The train between the two towns runs on Wednesday. Between connects train and the two towns. Adjectives and prepositions. Complete the following sentences by filling in the blanks with the correct prepositions. A. The sad story was very painful to the child's mother. B. The handsome actor was surrounded by his admirers. C. The children were full of hope that the party would not be cancelled. D. Akram was impatient at the delay of the train. E. I visited London last year accompanied by a friend. F. The headmaster asked the boy if he was aware of the dangers of smoking. G. The boy who threw the stone was ashamed of himself. Nouns. Underline the nouns in the following. A. The elephant rose to its feet. Elephant and feet are nouns in the sentence. B. The rose on the bush was large. Rose and bush are nouns. C. The rose bush grew in the back garden. Bush and garden are nouns in the sentence. D. The water was taken from the tank. Water and tank are nouns in the sentence. E. It is the gardener who has to water the plants. Gardener and plants are nouns in the sentence. F. The water tank is near the wall. Tank and wall are nouns in the sentence.
Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.